It's like the news, but for nerds. Subscribe so you never miss an episode. Nerd Avengers, what is up? It is Josh, and this is your Nerdy News Rundown for Thursday, May 6, 2021. A couple of juicy Marvel stories, and we do want to talk about how Andrew Garfield has walked back his strong denial of being in Spider-Man No Way Home. But first, let's talk about comments from Dave Bautista indicating that the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie will likely be the last film for Drax. I'm reading in an article from The Direct right here. It says, in an interview with the Digital Spy magazine, Drax actor Dave Bautista teased that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is probably going to be the end of his character's arc. The actor revealed that the upcoming trilogy-completing film concludes his obligations, seemingly indicating it is the final appearance in his current Marvel Studios contract. I mean, as far as my obligations, I've got Guardians 3, and that's probably going to be the end of Drax. They go on to ask, will the Guardians ever return? As the critically acclaimed Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy comes to a close, it remains a big question whether the characters' stories end here or if there is the potential for them to return across the wider MCU. The entire team was last seen in Avengers Infinity War and Endgame as they worked with the Earthbound heroes to take on Thanos' forces and save the galaxy once more. They go on to say, either way, there is plenty of Guardians action still to come as the whole team will return in Love, Thor, and Thunder before the release of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 in 2023 and their own holiday special late 2022. Okay, so there's the update there. It seems like the contract for Dave Bautista is done there, and if you're reading between the lines, it seems like he is not really interested in signing up further to be a part of Marvel Studios, or maybe it's Marvel Studios that doesn't necessarily have a place for him. Now, there's some indication that it could be a major death in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It's possible that Drax could be that character, but this also comes on the heels of it being teased out that the third volume of the Guardians of the Galaxy's film may well be the last thing that James Gunn does in the MCU as well, which is kind of strange. Now, some people are sort of reading between the lines here and kind of making it seem like James Gunn and perhaps some other people involved with the Guardians of the Galaxy project are coming back to complete this trilogy and complete their obligations to Disney and Marvel, but there's still some semblance of bad blood for what happened with James Gunn from Disney's perspective. This, of course, has to do with tweets James Gunn had made over a decade ago, surfacing and being used sort of by people online to cause a big stir that Disney responded to rather quickly by letting go of James. And you'll recall that Chris Pratt and many of the other people from the Guardians of the Galaxy cast sort of came to the defense of James Gunn. Apparently Kevin Feige came to the defense of James Gunn, and now James Gunn is returning to complete his trilogy, which is a good sign. But the fact that James might not return ever again, the fact that Dave Bautista might not return ever again, and the fact that James Gunn is doing a lot of stuff over at DC, presumably doing possibly even more shows beyond the Suicide Squad spinoff that he's doing with the Peacemaker character and John Cena's character. I don't know. There's just a tinge of that perhaps bad blood residually still in the water between James Gunn, Dave Bautista, and Marvel Studios. But regardless, big story out there about Dave Bautista saying that Guardians Volume 3 is likely the last time you will see Drax, at least his version of Drax, in the MCU. Now let's get into a story about Andrew Garfield changing his tune in less than 24 hours with regards to his lies about being in Spider-Man No Way Home. This I saw pop up on Murphy's Multiverse.com. Let's take a look at it right here. It says Andrew Garfield retracts his denial and leaves the door open for Spider-Man No Way Home. The article says, it's incredible how much can happen within 24 hours. You may recall yesterday, Andrew Garfield continued what seemed to be an ongoing tradition at Marvel Studios by wholeheartedly denying his involvement with the upcoming Spider-Man sequel, Spider-Man No Way Home. The first rumors of his involvement started months ago. It was believed that multiple actors from the previous Spider-Man franchises would be returning to reprise their roles. The rumors also indicated the return of Alfred Molina, Jamie Foxx, who will reprise their roles as Doc Ock and Electro, respectively. Of course, Garfield's return seemed like a shoo-in after multiple rumors until he denied it in this over-the-top manner. Now, in an interview with Access, the Amazing Spider-Man actor once again was asked about the rumors, calling the potential of him returning a really cool idea, and said, never say never. This is definitely quite the tone shift from I'm not the werewolf from the last interview. It's not the first time an actor has denied their involvement in a Marvel project. Several MCU actors and actresses have denied their involvement in the past, including Jeremy Renner, Evangeline Lilly, Benedict Cumberbatch, Paul Rudd, and most recently, Tatiana Maslany. It's obvious Marvel Studios and Sony's are trying to make sure nothing regarding the film is potentially leaked out into the public, especially if the cast for the film is rumored to incorporate 3 live-action Spider-Man from different franchises. Okay, so this is pretty freaking crazy. Again, I know that Spider-Man No Way Home and the rumors about Spider-Man No Way Home actors has really taken on a life of their own. It's become a big, crazy thing out there in the pop culture zeitgeist of, fans of Spider-Man. And it was just really interesting to watch. Even when we first reported about Andrew Garfield's comments, and we were very, very confident that he was lying, there's even a large portion of people that still believe, that still were commenting, that we're still talking about how they don't believe any of the leaks and rumors, and they don't believe that Andrew Garfield will be in the film. I really don't know how else to say it, that he's definitely in the film. Like, he's definitely in the film. There could be some things about the film that insiders and scoopers are getting wrong, and there could be things that are getting shuffled around for that movie, but ultimately, I strongly feel that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are in the movie, that they used doubles to shoot a lot of action scenes before both of them actually showed up on set, and that popular leaks about the plot of that film involving both of those Spider-Man being in our universe, and some of those villains being in our universe and Doctor Strange being involved in all of that, are 100% true and accurate. And if anything, we should really focus on the fact that Andrew Garfield has shifted his tone. And this is partially because he indicated in some of his most recent interviews that he does look at Twitter, that he is looking at what fans are saying about it. And even though he has this big pressure from the studios, I'm sure he feels a little bit weird about lying and then watching a ton of people online get upset because we're all pretty dang sure that he's lying. I mean, even Josh Horowitz himself tweeting that video, an interview from a couple of days ago, talking openly about how he's pretty stinking sure that this dude's lying. He can't wait to play back this interview to Andrew after the film actually comes out. Just indicates that everybody knows what it is. Everybody knows what's going on. Andrew Garfield shifting his tone, perhaps realizing that we're on to him. And it's really just not worth it to keep lying to our faces. That simple shift in tone probably means a lot. It's a big freaking deal, at least in my opinion. But that is the top story of the day. Andrew Garfield changing his tone, leaving the door open for his appearance in Spider-Man No Way Home, and saying that it would be pretty freaking cool. So there you have it, guys. Sort of a sad story about Drax and it being maybe the last appearance of Dave Bautista, perhaps a little residual bad blood between some of the cast of that film, including Dave Bautista and Disney, something maybe there. And of course, Andrew Garfield shifting his tone, leaving the door open for his appearance in Spider-Man No Way Home, because we all flipping know he's going to be there. Unless you're one of those people that still doesn't believe it. Let me know in the comment section. Are you one of those people that still doesn't believe it? How can I convince you? I mean, come on. What's going on over there? He's clearly in the movie. Don't you get it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.